boy, don't we have a special for you today, don't we, Ash?
In today's edition, we're going to be renovating our kitchen.
Ooh.
Nasty.
Oh, wow. Voila! Put the paint on and it soils it up and it's gone. I've never actually had a brand new oven before, so this is like, look how sexy that is. Okay, thanks. Before, after. Da, da, da.
Now, there's a couple of ways to renovate your kitchen. One, you can knock it all down and build it back up, and that'll cost you more money. And there's nothing called resurfacing. And what that is sanding down your cupboards and painting it with a fresh layer of paint, making it all nice and glossy. Check out our video where we did the toilets, and they look amazing. So we're going to be doing that again with the kitchen. We're going to be replacing our appliances, and we're going to be putting in some brand new ones. We're going to make this kitchen look amazing, and we're inviting you on our journey to get this done.
It's going to be a hell of a journey, guys. We have got 13 different cabinets. Now, originally we thought, you know what's it like if we just got someone to come in and do it for us? But the quotes we got, oh my God. Somebody quoted us $5,000 just to do exactly what we want to do. We're like, okay.
No. It was $5,000 just to do the outside. The inside it didn't want to touch.
Exactly.
And a builder wanted to knock it all down, replace everything for $20K.
Hey, I got lucky. What happened to the man who stole an advent calendar? Oh, okay, this is interesting. 30% off flooring.
Ooh.
You're going to have hat hair.
I am now a king. I am king of kitchen.
Wow.
Wow. Oh.
Now I understand why it takes 3 hours to do these consultations.
And obviously the retailer, they wanted to charge us $30K to just build all this stuff. And
Why?
basically we said, you know what, we can pay for this stuff, but we're probably gonna hurt because if we do a scratch, all that stuff,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money. And plus, DIY is fun, man. It's
fun.
It's a dream. Like, we painted this flat together ourselves. Well, she did all the work. She's really talented. This one, she's so talented on this stuff. I'm more of a computer guy. So,
But you got the jacket, so we cannot wait to take you. We can't wait to take you on this fun adventure. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. We're also going to be changing the hinges to soft close hinges as well, and we're going to be changing the handles as well because right now they're a bit old looking. And our boy AC is going to be deinstalling the ovens, the appliances. They're going to be showing you exactly how to do that, and then we're going to be popping in some brand new, spanking, shiny, lovely chrome coloured ovens, and everything's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to share this with you. Step 1. First, you need to remove all of the cabinetry doors using a drill. And of course you need to label up your doors as well so that you know whereabouts they belong. I'll be using some masking tape and a pen and labeling them 1, 2, 3 and so on, so that when it comes to finishing time, I know where they go. It's time to uninstall the hinges from the doors. I'll be using one of these, an electric screwdriver, and also a manual screwdriver as well. This will help me just to get them nice and loose, ready for the electric screwdriver to do all of the hard work. As you can see, my cabinets come in different sizes. Yours may be the same or they may be one generic size. For me, I've got different sizes and they all come essentially with the same type of hinge, which is a generic hinge. You can see here as well, this one has 2, and so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to deinstalling these doors, I'm going to be extra careful because the electricity mains box is right here. I do recommend that you switch off your mains box if you are dealing with close electricity because you don't want to cause any damage to yourself or to your property. There you have it, nice and organised, so that when we're coming into replacing them, they're there just in case we need them.
I'm just going to do that bottom one.
Ew, this one looks so rusty and disgusting.
Nasty.
I've done the top one and the bottom one first because, well, if you do the top and the middle one, it's a bit too much weight for your last hinge to hold all of the cabinet door. So you want to be careful and do the middle one last so that you've got an equal amount of weight, and also so the door doesn't fall over and damage the actual door itself.
So if you can, make sure you have a mate holding the door while the last hinge is being taken apart.
There you have it. Now that your first door has been removed, you'll need to place it in a safe and secure place, ready for painting when you're ready to do so. For me, I'm going to put mine right over here, ready for next time. The smaller cabinets are a lot easier. For this, I'll be using my electric screwdriver to save me some mental energy and stamina, and I'll be using a ladder as well to reach those top hinges. Let's go. Almost there. 2 left to go. Ooh, look how nasty it is. I'm so glad to be removing them. Yuck. This is Project 101. We are going to be attacking this pronto. Chocolate? Chocolate? Ah! There's so much chocolate in here. I found the secret stash of chocolate, guys. Last door has now been removed. Next up, it's...
One more.
Oh no! Alright, so it's time to now empty all of the cabinets. Make sure you put them on a nice area where you're not going to damage any other carpets, for example. And then you're going to give them a good clean up with the sugar soap, and then we'll go to the next phase. Let's do it. To you.
To me.
Woo! 1 down, 100 left to go.
Next.
Cheers.
Oh, look how nasty that looks. Ew. Grime. Can't believe we were living in this mess. This is where our food goes. This is what we eat. It's all the germs.
I know. But do not fear, because we're going to zap this place. We're going to absolutely detoxify all those nasties from it.
Mate, I need to detoxify my body.
Oh, I think you should use those. Now that those cabinet doors have been removed, it's time to give yourself a deep clean to your cabinets. To do this, I will be using a pair of gloves, some instant sugar soap spray, a sponge, and some kitchen roll. Now, for those of you who haven't done this before, it's really simple. You just need to spray the areas that are affected all over your cabinet, leave it for 1 to 2 minutes, let it soak in, then use a sponge with some lukewarm water and wipe off the excess, and then you can dry it with some paper towel. If you've got a particularly dirty cabinet, which I have today, I'll be repeating this process twice over. Let's get clean. You also want to be cleaning all of your areas where your laminate is going to be coated over. Wash and repeat. To get into those nooks and crannies, take off your shelves. Wash them separately and clean underneath. Oh, it's so oily. Look at this. Oh, gross. What the...
Just going to get rid of all the hinges, so that way, when we do start painting later on, you have a nice, smooth surface to paint on. Obviously, I'm going to need my pliers again.
Oh, wow. It looks so much brighter now. It's only taken us maybe, well, the sun's gone down, it's gone dark. Probably taken us a good 2 or 3 hours.
just trying to unscrew as many screws as possible. So I think I got this side off. So there was 2 screws next to the fan, and there's a screw on the side here. Where's that screw here?
You did it.
So we got something here.
Put it on the table, yeah.
Sideways.
Whoa, that's nasty.
And now, my friends, that's how to unscrew your range hood. Pretty much just unscrew the screws from the fans here, then unscrew it from the sides, and then pretty much pull it out of the wall. That's it, we're done, we're good. Electricity's back on. Cool thing is, I was using my battery supplies, so Wi-Fi was still running. So as you can see here, Wi-Fi on the internet was working, and crazily enough, over here, this mammoth big computer, it's also running on a battery over there, and it hasn't unplugged or turned off.
Good.
Look how dirty the area where the range hood used to be. Bonus points, we're also going to be removing the electric cooktop that goes along with it. The first thing you need to do is go over and find your mains, and usually you'll find separate switches, and one of the switches will be for the cooktop and one of the switches will be for the oven itself. For me, I can see that this one's labelled oven and this one's labelled, actually it's not, that's power, that says wall oven and that says hot plates. So usually they'd be on. For me, I can turn them individually off. If your setup doesn't have them individually labelled, you can also just turn off the mains completely and have some backup lights, or do it in a daylight so that way you can see it. But first, before starting, double check to make sure there's no electricity running. Now first, we're going to be removing the oven. You should find along the edges some screw holes. Lucky for me, the person who installed this oven was a bit lazy and they didn't actually put the screws in, so I don't need to actually unscrew anything. I can simply, from the bottom, lift it up and it just slides out. Drop it to the floor. Usually there's a bit of a bracket here, so you can get some support. Be careful though, because this is where the wiring comes in. And there it is. It is now on the floor. So there's a wire coming in, goes straight into the wall oven, and there's another wire, if you look through there, underneath, and it goes into the cooktop and it gets wired in through here. But the cool thing about this guy is, as you can see,
What?
there, this is this guy.
What?
Comes
Oh my
straight
god.
off.
That's ridiculous.
Alright. So as you can see, the wire to the wall oven goes into this tube in, and it's tied in by this screw over here. Okay, so we've got earth, live, and neutral. And the cool thing about it is, you can just simply unscrew them. So over on the cooktop, you can see, and now this comes off, and just like before, you get 3 wires. Simply unscrew, 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 and your cooktop is free to roam the world.
Get rid of it. Now that we've uninstalled our oven and our cooktop, it's now time to clean up this compartment. As you can see, it is filthy. There is dirt all the way around the edge. Now it's time to clean up. This is already coming off, so I'm just going to peel it off and then I'm going to sand it down to get it nice and equal.
So the best way I find to get this done is just to dig diagonally, 30-degree angle, and just slowly shimmy it left and right. If you go too hard, it slips off. And if you go too vertical, it slips off. But this seems to be a nice angle, and like you can see, it's scraping most of it off.
So So next up is the moment that you've all been waiting for. Now that you have taken down your doors, you've cleaned the inside with some instant sugar soap, you've given everything a once over and it's looking spick and span, it's now time to sand down those laminate areas. Now I'm using sandpaper of 180 grit around a sanding block like so, just wrapped over, to give it some ergonomic comfort in my hand. To avoid getting dust on your face from the sandpaper, you can always use a tea towel to cover your face. Now it's time to rob a bank. But essentially all you do is like so. Next up, you need to clean off all of that residue. I'm going to be using a paper towel, wet it with some water, and then just wipe it all off. This bit is so important because you don't want to be painting onto your particles because it will just leave you with a really bumpy, uneven finish. So spend some time thoroughly cleaning it to take off all that yucky residue. Ew! Now that you have successfully sanded down all of your areas, it's now time for that first important primer. So for this, I am using Dulux Perfect Precision Primer, which is fantastic for all laminate cabinets, and you can also use it on wood as well. So I'm just going to open this up and pour it into my paint tray. And I'll be using a mohair mini microfiber roller, attaching onto my handle. This will be useful for the larger areas, and then for the small areas I'll be using a lovely, beautiful, fresh paintbrush. So to open up my tin, I'm just going to pop it open. Now just be mindful that sometimes you do need to give them a stir. This one I've used really recently, so it's already stirred up for me. Pour some in here into my paint tray. So now you just need to submerge your roller into the paint tray. Give it a few rotations so that it's all equally covered, like so. And I'm going to show you first of all by doing this nice area over here. Now you want to go in any direction, doesn't matter for now, because you'll be going in one direction right at the end. Give it a nice generous coating. Make sure that when you are applying any primer to your indoor surface that you have got a good ventilation, because this actually smells quite strong and you don't want to have those fibres or those smells in your house for such a long period of time. Now you will notice that I'm leaving the edges alone because I'm going to use my paintbrush to go over those areas. The roller is good for larger areas and the paintbrush is good for small areas. And yes, I've got really sweaty with my pony up. For areas where you do accidentally paint the wrong area, just get a wet paper towel and wipe it straight away. To protect my benchtop, I'll be using some masking tape, just in case I get any paint on it. And now it's time to paint those very fine areas using the tip of my paintbrush. You'll note that I've only wet it a little bit with paint, just because I want it to be nice and precise. Now that you've painted the whole of the area with your first coat of primer, use your brush with a little bit of paint on the top to give one nice even flow of the wood. Don't worry if it's patchy, because you have to remember you'll be applying 3 more coats of paint, so all of this will look nice and uniform and glossy by the end of it. Time to carry on and do the rest of the kitchen. Whew. first coat is complete, it's time to wait for 2 hours, and then I'll come back for my second coat of primer.
So in order to paint this front board area, I'm going to be removing the carpet around it in order to avoid getting paint on it.
What I'm going to do now is just cover up the carpet with a plastic sheet to protect it if anything does drop any paint. We have just newly got this carpet fitted in, so we want to keep it as clean as possible. Oh my god.
You okay?
You scared me. Voila, done. What do you think? All right, it's now been 2 hours and it's time to apply my second coat of primer around the kitchen area. Come with me, let's go. Like the doors are just so thirsty. You put the paint on and it just swallows it up and it's gone. Stop swallowing my paint. There you have it. The second coat is now complete and oh, I am exhausted. I'm gonna tuck into some food because I'm hungry and tired, and then when I come back, hopefully all of it will be dry. And we'll go on ahead and do the first coat of the gloss, which is super exciting. But not only that, I will also be painting the interior carcasses of the cabinets themselves. And yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome because everything is going to look really white and bright, which means that this is going to look yellow and faded, and I'll be taking you through how to repaint over your tiles and make it look beautiful. Join me very soon after I've eaten. What I've got is some old wall paint that I'm going to use up before it gets out of date, and I'm just going to show you something really exciting. So pop open the paint tin, and when you leave paint, it sometimes settles. You're probably thinking it's blue, you need white. Well, take a look at this. Stir the paint. Keep stirring it, and eventually it will be back to your normal, recognizable paint. Long gliding strokes. Now it's time for my second coat of the interior, which after this it'll be done and it'll be ready to attach the doors once they're fully painted. You are amazing! You are amazing! You are amazing! These sides of the walls are really nice and clean. The main thing that I had an issue with was the back wall because that had the original colour from the flat. So I've done 2 coats over that, and now it's looking really bright, really shiny. And also, whenever you come to open your doors, that's the first thing you're going to see. So you want to be able to see something fresh and clean. Woo.
You missed a spot.
Where? Oh, sorry. Now that the second coat of primer is now dry, it's time to lightly sand down with a 600 grit piece of sandpaper the areas that we've done in preparation for glossing. Once you've sanded it down, give it a wipe. After sanding it down, you need to give it a light wipe to clear up any debris. Now you need to get your laminate paint ready, which is my gloss colour. I've chosen a white gloss colour because I think it's just going to look so beautiful. It's going to bounce off the light and it's going to give it a nice, fresh, vibrant look. Of course, you can go for any colour that you wish, but I'm going to crack this open and take a look. So using my flat screwdriver, I'm just going to pop the lid open. And it's not been too long since I last used it, so it's already stirred. However, if yours has been in storage for a while, give it a good stir before you use it. Using my nice clean brush to wipe off any excess. And that will help to avoid any dribbling down the tin. Make sure you always put the lid back on because you don't want to accidentally hit it over and whoosh, you get a bit of a catastrophe. So I'm going to get started with the small fine areas first, then we'll be moving on to the bigger areas with the roller once again, the same as before. And that's it, just enjoy yourself. Pretty darn good. Woo. So this is the bit that we've all been waiting for. This is when you finally come to see it all come into play with your first coat of gloss. You might be thinking, this looks good enough. But actually no, alas, there will be a further second coat after that and it will be so amazing. You'll be like, wow, I can't believe I can do that myself. Yes. As you can see, the first coat of gloss is now complete and it's looking super shiny and super bright. Now don't worry if you feel that there's some patchy places because you'll go over it again with the second coat after this is dried in 6 hours. Always make sure that you read your instructions in your paint tin because it could be a bit longer for yourself. I am so excited to see this kitchen transforming into what it has become. I can't wait. Yay! Next, it's time to refresh those tiles. Once you've noticed that you've done a beautiful white colour, you'll start to see that your old tiles just look really faded and disgusting. In order to paint over the tiles, you need a few things. The first of all is you need to give it a good clean using our good old friend sugar soap. And then you'll need your primer, which you've seen previously before. You'll only need 1 coat of primer for this occasion. Leave that to dry for 2 hours. Light sand, and then apply specific tile paint. I have gone for a white gloss tile paint by White Knight. The idea of it being tile paint is because it will stick better to the tiles and it will also work nicely with the actual texture of the tiles compared to the laminate paint itself. And you'll need 2 coats of this. So step 1, clean up your tiles. All cleaned up. As you can see behind me, I have 4 black squares that I want to keep on as the design. So instead of painting over them, I'm going to cover them with some masking tape. So if I do happen to paint over them, it's no big deal because they are protected by the masking tape. Now you're ready to put your primer onto your tiles, ready for the gloss. Now go in a zigzag pattern and then you're going to go a once down over. The trick is to do 1 tile at a time so you don't get too overwhelmed by the number of tiles you've got on your wall. And don't worry about the grout because you can fill that in later either using a grout pen or just your paint with a paintbrush, which I'll be doing and I'll show you later. Primer is now dried. It's now time to sand it down with a 600 grit piece of sandpaper very lightly, and then you're ready to apply your first paint, your first tile, your first... I'm so tired, whatever. After sanding down, make sure you wipe away all of the debris from the sandpaper, ready for your perfect gloss of paint. Time to crack open the tile paint. I haven't ever done this before. I'm slightly nervous, slightly excited. I'm really hoping that it comes out in a really professional look, because I'll be really upset if it looks tacky after all this hard work. Make sure to give it a really good stir before your first use. Now, once you've completed a section, as before, always go in one direction all the way through the tiles to give it a nice clean finish.
how it looks after the end of day one.
Bob the Builder is taking a rest. I'm so shattered.
And tomorrow we're getting these guys installed.
What's inside the boxes, I hear you ask? Well, welcome to this very special edition of Unboxing the Box. Today, we are going to be unboxing right in front of you the Smeg range. We have a beautiful self-cleaning oven. We've got a induction cooktop, and we've also got the Smeg range hood. All of this is going to be fitted out tomorrow by our electrician, but we thought we'd show you what it looks like inside the box because nobody else has done that yet. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now, this guy is all the way from Italy. Smeg is known to be a fantastically, really good quality oven. We're going to be testing out to see whether or not it meets those expectations. Wow. That is so shiny. Oh my gosh. Now, this is actually a really interesting box, if you can call it that. It's essentially 4 planks of wood and some polystyrene. I think the reason they've done that is so that you can have a look at this beautiful oven that is underneath this so-called box and admire it. Oh my gosh. Now, my first thoughts are this thing is awesome. I've always wanted a Smeg. I know that they're fantastic in terms of their quality, their efficacy as well, and their efficiency. But what I want to know as well is, will this actually fit in a turkey? Because I love making turkeys, especially around the festive seasons. This is looking kind of small. Let's take a look as we unbox it together. Wow. I've never actually had a brand new oven before, so this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you so much. This is crazy. Look at this. Just like random pieces of wood that construct a box all the way from Italy. Well, it seemed to have worked fine, which is great. I'm going to sell this on eBay. Smeg wood, $5. I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just want to go through some of the features that this bad boy has. It's got convection. It's got static grill. It cleans itself. It cleans itself. It's got vapor clean. That's awesome. It's got super cook. It's got fan forced, fan grill, fan assist, and eco-saving cooking. I cannot wait to get through the manual, have a read of this, bake so much and make so much food. But first, I'm getting carried away. I still need to unbox it. So sexy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a Smeg oven. Are you ready? Yes. That is big. I like it. It comes with a pack in the inside, which contains 2 grill baking trays that you can use. I think it might even be 3 actually. 3 grill baking trays that you can use. The nice thing about this actually, I just want to say one thing. In our previous apartment, we had a Fisher and Paykel, and it was a rented apartment, and it was a brand new Fisher and Paykel. However, we had to self-assembly the grill by ourselves. This one, it's already done for you. That makes such a difference. Thank you so much, Smeg, for thinking of us. We don't want more work. Oh, nice. It's got handles as well that you can carry it on the side. It's really cool. I love how they think of us. Thank you so much, Smeg. This is brilliant. It's nice, it's clean, it's shiny. It looks good. I like this. I love this. It's the good, sturdy door. All right, guys, stay tuned for our full review of the Smeg oven. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and check out the induction cooktop and the range hood. I cannot wait.
All right, guys, so over here we've got a Smeg induction cooktop. Now, this induction cooktop requires 31 amps of power. So always double check your electricity because, for example, with us, we have to get our electricity upgraded because currently we only support 20 amps because we had a ceramic one. Enough about the waffle. Let's see what the unboxing of induction Smeg cooktop looks like. Whoa, that looks nice.
Wow.
Looks nice.
That is so nice. Oh, wow.
Your pizza delivery is here, ma'am. See if it fits in our space. This. Oh, look, it fits right in.
Yes.
And you don't even need the metal bracket. Over here, we've got some tubing to go around the edge of the cooktop area. We've got an instruction manual. There's an extra space between the and selected, 2 spaces instead of 1. And more importantly, what's a noodle? That should be noodles. And that's pretty much it. There's really nothing to it. Okay, this is where the electricity gets split.
Wow, I love it. It gives me great pleasure to unbox the range hood with you guys. Now, this is going to fit nicely underneath this cabinet over here, where our previous one was. Now, personally, I don't use much for the range hood. I don't really have much of a sort of fry up food or a diet like that. One of the most interesting things about this range hood is that I couldn't even find a picture of what it looked like online. Even on the Smeg official shop, it just looked like a little bit of a tray. So I'm intrigued to find out what's going on inside here and show you guys what does the Smeg range hood actually look like.
This is the tray that opens up.
Nice.
I guess these holes will go into the wall. But height-wise, it feels like it will be a standard size and it will just come in to where the previous one was.
So it only took 4 hours, but it is installed. We have upgraded our circuit so that now we've added value to our property as well. We've got an induction cooktop, which is pretty fancy stuff. Look how sexy that looks. And we've got a brand new Smeg oven. Take a look inside. Oh my god! I don't want to use it.
That looks
I actually don't want to use it because I get it dirty. The only thing that we weren't able to install today was the range hood because the measurements were incorrect. But it doesn't matter because these are the main things that I use. And that is just like an added bonus to have that. I'm so happy to the guy. I feel sorry for him because at the start we were really like angry, and then he spent all the time kind of calling around people, getting it all sorted. And he did a neat job in the end. Let's go check out all of the work he did. So he inserted in a brand new circuit breaker here, did a conduit round here, another piece of pipe round here, made a hole through here, went all the way to the back, nice brackets, nice and neat, all the way down and went inside through this cabinet, passed behind the fridge, passed behind the doors as well.
I've got you here.
See? And then he made another hole into the kickboard of the oven and just directly feed it through the wires. The alternative route would have been something much more worse, which would have entailed breaking all of the splashback, breaking all the cabinets. So I'm really pleased that he managed to do that. At the end of the day, I've got my Smeg induction cooktop and my oven. I'm so happy, and it works. Come check that out. So to put it on, I actually don't know how to put it on.
No, that's true.
Oh, also that one. There you go. This one, you can go up like that, or go down. It only works with induction. It only works with certain stainless steel pots and pans. So the heat will only go through if you do put a pot on it. So you can put your hand on it and you won't get burnt. The other really nice thing about this Smeg is it tells you the diameters of the pots you should be using. So this one says 19, this one says 17, this one says 22, and this one says 15. That's particularly important for me, especially because I have Le Creuset stainless steel potwares, which have their number on the back, and you're not allowed to heat bigger than the pot size. So I'll be using this definitely until I get customs. Let's have a look at the features. So you've got your timer clock, which we're going to be programming up very soon. And then you've got your different temperatures. So steam, this is your steam to steam clean it. 90, 120, 80, up to 250. Going round again. And then you've got your different features of how you want to cook. So I like the dials. They just flick them around. It's really easy, really nice and neat. Goes all the way 360. So if you're on this one, you don't have to go all the way around this way like you did with the Fisher and Paykel. You can just go this way and this way, which is really nice. And with the temperature, you do have to go clockwise all the way and then go back round, which is a safety thing. Looking inside the actual oven itself, it says Smeg on the bottom, so it's got a nice Smeg logo there. And it comes with a beautiful bake tray, which is really nice and clean. And it comes with 2 grill trays as well. It's a decent size. I'd say you can put in a good sized turkey in there for Christmas. The other nice thing about Smeg ovens is that you can actually take off the glass to clean your oven, because sometimes what can happen is you can get droplets going inside of the glass and you end up with like a drop here, which is really hard to clean. So Smeg have actually designed some technical sort of things so that you can actually just pop this up and it just cleans underneath really nicely. All in all, I'm really happy. It sounds nice, it smells good, it's looking really good in this nice white gloss that we've managed to paint over. So those are my first impressions so far. Stay tuned when I'll be cooking with this bad boy, letting you know if it's any good and how we get on. Beautiful, I love it. It's so sexy. It's so clean, oh my god. I'm in love with it. I think I'm in love with my Smeg. Baby, I'm sorry it's Valentine's Day, but I've fallen for something else. It's called a Smeg oven and induction. It looks so smart. It just looks so nice, doesn't it? I love it. It's so much nicer than what we had before. Got to keep this is my pride and joy. Keep it nice and clean. No one's allowed to come here apart from me, because it's just me. This is my space.
Oh, it reflects.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Now I'm going to also cover my cooktop because I don't want any splatters of any paint going. So to do that, I'll just be using a piece of paper or a cloth. I'll find out which one I have available and I'll just cover it over the top. It's now the next day and the paint has all dried, and as you can see we've also installed our Smeg oven and cooktop. Woohoo! So now it's time to paint our final coat of paint. First of all, you will need, as before, to slightly sand it down with some 600 grit sandpaper, wash away all of the debris, and then you're ready for your last and final coat of gloss. And I cannot wait because this place is looking so bright. I'm gonna need some sunnies on. Once you've done a section, remember to always go downwards in one direction. Using a small paintbrush, get those corners that you can't reach with your mini roller. This side looks beautifully glossy and shiny. However, this side you can see there's a few lint fibres just over here. So what I'm going to do is paint over it again with another gloss painting. The lint fibres might be from a few things. Number one, it could be because you had the air conditioning on and it's blew out a whole load of dust whilst it was drying. And number two, it could be because the roller that I was using got a bit old, and so now I've changed it over for a fresh, nice roller, and I'm going to give it another coat just to see if I can minimise that lint fibres effect and also get it nice and glossy too. But before that, I'm going to sand it down with 600 grit sandpaper, wipe off all the debris, and then I'm all ready to paint. Down, do one bit at a time. And now for the finishing touches.
You look happy, isn't it?
I'm so chuffed. So really, all that's left now, this is the final coat of gloss, and I can see I've missed a bit there, so let's go back. But the final coat of gloss, leave it for 6 hours to dry, and then you have it, you're done. Done. What you do realise is that when you've done the gloss, the other bits don't look as white, so I feel like I've got compulsion to paint everything all over again. When will it stop? When will the madness stop? Wow, it just looks amazing. What a difference from that horrible mahogany colour. This is it after 2 coats of gloss. We're going to let it dry and then admire it. Oh boy, what a journey we've been on. Next up, we're going to be recoating the tiles. So as usual, same guys, same thing. Just wiping the areas down now, ready for painting.
What did you say?
Down, 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 down. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. What's whiter than white? Your second coat of tile paint. That's what. It looks amazing right now. I'm so chuffed with this. It looks so good. It's looking so white. I didn't actually think it would look this good because it's the first time I've actually ever done this, but I'm quietly impressed. Well, not quietly because I'm telling you, but I am impressed. Amazing! It's amazing.
Happy Valentine's Day, my love.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Now get back to work.
Okay. Oh, baby.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Will you be my kitchen resurfacer?
I will. Thank you. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. P.S. This is how Ash expects his works to be done. Sexy booty, 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 sexy booty.
Wish I could take a picture. Can I take a picture?
Wow, it is looking so good. I'm going to leave my second gloss coat now to dry for 6 hours and it'll be ready to touch. I've just realised that I also need to give some other pieces a bit of a second coat with some regular paint. For example, this backboard here, this cabinet in here needs a whole new refresher. Once that's all done, I'll be ready to get started on the doors, which is the final part of this reno project, and then we're going to be attaching the handles and the hinges together again. So let's have a look together.
Just going to remove the hinges and the handles in preparation for the resurfacing. So now it's time to have some fun. I've got to say, these handles are greasy AF. They're nasty. Even these doors are nasty. There's grease all over them, so I'm looking forward to the next part of this project, which is to make them
Second coat.
Right, my wife just told me that I also need to scrape off these kind of like stickers with one of these scraper things, like that. So just scrape it right. This of course is a service notice for building and pest inspection. It was last serviced on the 23rd of May. Doesn't specify the year, so this is legit forever. Look at that. Look at that.
What do you know? Nice one. It's perfect. Know what you're doing over there.
It is irritating to do, very irritating, but you just do it. Also, if you put your hand on the top of the, what's it called?
Scraper.
Scraper. It does dig it. Look, this is, look,
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
put your hand, it really.
Nice. So there's a bit of gloss there. The best way to get rid of it is when it's not fully dry. A bit of olive oil on a paper towel and then just rub it off. See? Magic. The kitchen is looking fantastic. The tile paint is now completely dry and it's time now to uncover those black squares that we tried to keep last time. Let's find out how well they look. Okay. I might just paint over them.
My friends, the sheets, these plastic sheets, have been glorious. They've kept the carpet super fresh. So I'm going to get rid of these makeshift weights.
I guess cement.
Cement.
Just don't get on the carpet.
All right, let's get rid of this bit over here. This bit over here. And it's easy enough to resurrect the carpet or desurrect the carpet. You just literally use your hand and go down. Pat it down so the nails stick back into the carpet. Putting it back into place, nice and softly.
Now that the kitchen's done and it's all drying up, it's time to work on these horrible looking doors. Exactly the same as before. We're going to first of all clean the doors with some sugar soap, sand them down, clean off the debris, then apply 2 coats of primer with some sandpaper in between. And then we're going to get going on our gloss, and again 2 coats of gloss, flip them around and do exactly the same on the other side. Got a lot of work to do, 13 doors, it's time to get going.
Wow, look how bright they look. Soak in that sun, little ones. Soak in that sun.
I'm just painting the sides again because the installers, when they came to put it in the kitchen, they had really in the oven, they had really grubby hands and it's left marks all over my freshly painted walls. Grrr. I've decided to repaint it because there were a few marks, like fingerprint marks, and also there are a few lines as well. So I'm just trying to get rid of those as much as possible. And I'm also doing this black bit again as well. So that's also the reason why.
I think it looks amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it looks so good.
Oh, thank you. As you can see, we put the shelves back onto the cabinets. However, we're going to try for as long as possible not to repack them because it actually takes 6 days for paint to fully cure. That means to harden up. If you do put anything into it, it's going to scratch and you're going to lose all of that hard work. Even though our room is a complete and utter mess.
Whoa. What a tip.
What a tip! What a tip! Peter! Heidi! So I like making Ash's life a bit difficult when he's out and about in the home. Today's obstacle is getting through the laminate cupboards. Ready? How are you feeling?
Bit nervous.
Yeah?
Never done this Ninja Warrior challenge before.
Okay.
I got a plan. I'm just gonna jump.
Jump!
Yeah.
Where's your shoes? Oh! The concentration on his face. Operation get through the door cabinets. Nope, nobody's helping you now. Yay! Set of drawers. And then I'll just
So nasty.
what they look like
That's the bottom.
before. No, that's nasty. That's horrible. I can't be living like you can't have a new kitchen and then open your drawers and see that. That's just wrong. Well, I need to do a second coat. It's just the first coat for now of the undercoat, and then after I'm going to put a nice wall paint on here because I've got lots of wall paint. So I'm going to use it brilliant white just to give it that perfect cover. Because you can see here that there are some areas that are still very much visible, but hopefully that will go in the second coat. And yeah. Just carry on going. We're going to carry on doing this. I'm going to get this done. All right, got my paint brushes. Now we're going to head on over and get the soft close hinges plus the handles. Let's go. 1, 2. So we want soft closing action, 105 degrees opening, nickel plated, prestige edition. We want 14 of these. Maybe we'll get lucky.
What's that? What's that?
2.
What's that?
Oh my gosh, this is an expensive job. It's basically 10. I think that's 10. 14. But our basket is nice and full. It's still thousands cheaper than getting somebody else to do it. We're going to end up with our under $500 checkout today, which actually isn't too bad, seeing as they wanted 30 grand for the kitchen. Let's go pay.
All right, that came to 400. That's including all this extra stuff that we got, you know.
How do I look? I'm just going to do the final touches for the long door and the drawers for some glossy paint. The other ones are all done. Woohoo! But it is hot out there. It's 30 degrees, so I'm well equipped. I've got my loose baggy jumper and my hat to cover my head. Adios, amigos. Wow, how white are they? The doors and the drawers are now complete. Oh my gosh, it's been just about 7 days since we took our kitchen apart, completely resurfaced all of the cabinets and the drawers, and now it's time to put the handles and the hinges back on and stick the kitchen back together again, and voila, our kitchen will be done. Yay! It looks amazing. I need some glasses, shades on, it's so bright. Alright, time to get working. Alright, so for this next step, I will be showing you how to make this into this. Beautiful. So we are going for some brand new handles, which we brought from Bunnings. Now, each of the handles come with ready-made screws. However, those screws are really long and they may not be short enough for your actual door. So it's really important to measure these up and to cut them, and I'll show you exactly how to do that now. So first up, open up the packet. In the packet, you will see one nice fresh handle and 2 nails. Now, they make these quite tall because it depends on how thick your door is, so always refer to your own door when you're cutting your nails. So I'm just going to have a look and measure up my nail. So I'm going to stick it through the back, through to the front, and obviously that is just too long. So I know that I have to cut down my nail, and I'll show you where I'm going to cut it to. So I'm going to cut it off to the second line over here, because I know that's the right size for me. How do you cut nails? Well, it's not with a nail clipper, that's for sure. You need to get something called an end plier, which I've got a Trojan brand, which is pretty good. I think it was about $20 odd from Bunnings, and it does a treat. So position your nail with the Trojan end plier, give it a firm squeeze, rotate the nail, and squeeze 90 degrees, rotate and squeeze, 90 degrees, rotate and squeeze, and I'll show you this side. And one more time. You want to basically cover the whole circumference to dent it. Once you've done that, I suggest putting the Trojan nail just 1 or 2 threads below where you intend to cut it. Grab a thick plier, like so, and put it just above where you want to bend it off. And then with a firm action, bend your nail until it snaps off. And then repeat that for the rest of your nails, which for me is probably about 30 odd nails. So I'm going to be here a while. I'll see you tomorrow. Slowly screw it in. All right, there you have it. Oops. So now your door handle is complete. It's looking pretty fine, pretty sexy. So now it's time to attach your doors onto your base cabinet. Now, how are we going to do that, I hear you ask? Well, I think we're better off starting with this one, as I've got it ready already. This one belongs over here, so I'm going to go and grab the ladder and show you exactly what to do. All right, I've just realised that I got inset hinges instead of the full overlay in Bunnings, so it's a trip back, and all I can say is be extremely careful when you are selecting your hinges, because one little word can make your life hell. If you've got the wrong hinge, you'll be scratching your head for hours. What have I done? Why is the screws not going in? So yeah, full overlay, not inset, for the kitchen to be nice and flush with the end cabinet. Action. Okay, so we're here in another Bunnings, and I've only found one of the cabinet hinges that I need. I need another 2. I'm getting desperate. I'm starting to panic. What am I going to do right now?
What's so special about these ones?
These ones are full overlay, which is exactly what you need, and I'm looking for the soft close action. None of the rest of them have these properties to it.
All right, found them. There's 2. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
1, 2. Now it's time to do the hinges on the cabinet doors, and what that means is we're gonna make these doors stick onto these walls. So the hinges we bought is Prestige, and they're soft closing, which means when we leave the door, it's gonna softly close, obviously. We got 105-degree angles, which means it will open up slightly more than 90 degrees, obviously. But most importantly, we're getting something called full overlay. So you'll find 3 different types of overlays. You'll get something called full overlay, half overlay, and inset. And make sure you get the right one for your cabinetry. And I'll explain how that works. So this door goes over the cabinet side here. And this one goes over fully. So that's full overlay. If your previous ones went over by half, you get the half overlay. And if your previous one was inset, that'll be their inset. So full overlay is the one we're getting. So that means it'll open up nicely for us. Again, check to see the kind of cabinetry you had originally to make sure you get the right one. Now these are also clip-on hinges, which means they're easier to attach on because they're attached separately. I'll show you how to do that. But first, we're going to be placing these on the holes that should already be there. Now I'm going to share with you a trick because these holes don't fit precisely down. There's a bit of a gap. So you can just put the screws in diagonally, like that. So they're over the holes. And instead of drilling new holes to make this fit flush, you can actually just start screwing it in diagonally. Alright, next up, we're going to be putting these hinges, attaching it back to the cabinetry, showing you how gorgeous they look. Actually, we're going to be suffering like an hour trying to get them to align straight, like every single person who ever tried to put in cabinets back on. It's going to be a nightmare, but we're going to show you how to do just that, and it will involve playing with all of these screws.
I'm gonna cry. Is this our kitchen? It looks amazing. Soft closed doors. Soft closed doors. We used to slam. The doors used to slam. I used to hate using the cupboards because they used to slam so much. Oh, I'm so angry. I just really want to close the door. But wait, the door takes all your frustrations away. And instead of slamming it, it makes it nice and soft. Let me show you again. Oh my God, I hate this cupboard. But wait, it soft closes. Let's do it again.
Alright guys, now that you've got the correct hinges attached to your doors, we're going to be putting these doors back onto our cabinets, and as you can see, I think we've done a pretty good job with these ones over here. Come on, check it out over there. So we're pretty experienced in showing you how it is done. Look, they open up, they soft close. Very happy with that, very, very happy with that. Now there's a couple of tricks on getting this done right. And you can do it by hand and by eye, and I'll show you how to do it the dodgy way, which we have done, and it looks pretty good. So all you do is, you lock your cabinet door in, and you place the door in the cabinet hole. And you line it up by hand, and you get your mate to hold that door in place for you, and you just go ahead and drill the holes in precisely where this fits. One last thing I just want to tell you before attempting this is double check your hinges. We actually found a defective hinge. It's very, very hard to spot, but as you can see, there's a lot of damage on this one. But most importantly, this clip thing, it's already tucked in really deep. Where this clip, look, it has a little spring. You see that spring?
Yeah.
And this one was defective. So it looks to me like this part needs to go right, left a bit. So to do that, you'll find an instruction manual, which is very hard to decipher usually. So it's all about just playing with the screws until you figure it out yourself. For me, on these hinges, there's 4 control zones. And every single time you move it to the right, it drops slightly. And every single time you move it to the right from the top, it raises it slightly. So you want to play around with that. So I see this one is low, but this one's a bit high. So I'm going to drop this one a bit. Bit more. It's getting closer. Drop this one a bit more.
Wow.
Almost there. I think. Drop this one a bit more. That's really good. I think now let's move this one a bit more to the left.
So now I've got the fun and pretty easy task of putting the drawers back together again. Thank you, Ash, for doing my hinges. So it's really simple to put your drawers back, a bit like how you took them off. So with us, we had 4 different screws. 2 of those are for the handle and 2 of those are for supporting the extra piece of wood. So I'm going to reuse the screws that came for the extra support of the wood and pop those back in. But of course, oh, bit of dust there. But of course, I will need to use new handle screws because I am using different handles than the one that were attached. Really simple. You can see already that my drawer had some holes from last time. They were slightly painted over, but the holes do still exist. So it's really simple just to go straight through with your nail and get it back into the right place. So I'm just going to pop it to a side so you can have a look. I'm going to line up the holes and the screws together, like so. And then with my screwdriver, give it a little bit of a screw in. And now it's time to fit on the handles. So you should also see that when you're putting in the handles, you should see that if you're going to the right place, that there should be a light all the way through the holes to make sure that you're going in the right place. So back to the handle. As you know already, you need to cut the screws down to size. And I'm going to screw it in from the back through the hole, and I always apply counter pressure to the handle itself to make sure that I'm not just empty screwing the air or something like that. Okay, this one probably goes on 3. There you have it, beautiful. That is stunning. Gorgeous. Just want to show you this beautiful setup that's up here. Check this out. It's beautiful. Our kitchen is looking amazing. We only have 1 door left to go, which is this one. And then we'll be able to show you the kitchen complete.
However, there's a bit of damage to the backboard. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap between the cupboard wall and the backboard. So I went into Bunnings, I was like, yo guys, how are we going to fix this? They said, you're going to have to hammer in the nails from the back. But I said, you know what, I'm going to get my brain and I'm going to show you how to fix it without doing that. So I bought 2 suction cups. Now these are made for glass, but I'm going to be using it on cardboard, which the Bunnings guy said I was crazy. Well, my friend, crazy is the least of things when it comes to your boy AC. So I got, this is a spray fix. It's kind of like super glue, but with a spray can. Spray it on. So I'm going to spray the back sides here. Back sides, what's up? And I'm going to suction cup it out and then pull it until it's hardened up and looking good. Hopefully it'll work. Spray paint this part. Then I'm going to slowly place it like this. Suck it in. Suck it in and pull. And then I just need to hold it for about 2 minutes. So I've attached a bit of rope to a ladder. That means I don't need to stand there for half an hour. I'm just doing the finishing touches to my tiles. So when I took off the masking tape, it did look a bit scatty, so I've just had to reapply
a fine layer of paint, and now I'm just using a screwdriver and a wet wipe just to take off the excess on my bench top so it can give it a nice pristine finish. If it does dry overnight, I don't mind because I can just scrape off the paint as well, so no loss here or there if you do it whilst it's wet or if you do it whilst it's dry.
Are you ready for this?
So the final touch of this paint job is to fill up the gaps. Now I've got a Sellies all-purpose, multi-purpose gap filler, no more gaps. Now what I've done is unscrewed it. I've got a glove with some water in the end so I can mould it into a nice shape. I'm just going to go ahead, squeeze it, and as I go through, flatten it down with my finger. Let's go. What I'm going to do is I've got a wet glove and I'm just going to press down and smooth it out. Really smooth it out. Putting the excess, I'm just putting the excess away. Capture it. Thanks to no more gaps, all my gaps are covered up.
Alright guys, check it out. Just installed some brand new LED lights in the kitchen. Just these fellas, and I gotta say, excuse the mess, but it really brightens up the living room. It really looks good, so I'm gonna show you how it's done. Our ones here have one of these sockets, and you just plug it in over here. I'll show you the holes, it just goes straight in. Connected, and then you make sure this seal is fully down, and then you get rid of any tags, it's not required. Pull these fellas up, and then you'll just spring in to action. There you go.
What?
Beautiful light.
Wow.
So I think we're almost done. It's very happy, very happy with the lights. Very
Yes. Thank you, Mr. AC. I've got my scissors at the ready, and this is something I can easily do. Unboxing boxes. All right, inside the box we have something to hit each other with. Okay, so it comes nicely packaged. It looks super shiny. So I like these lights. These are very nice lights. And let's give it a demonstration. There we go. It's nice. I like that. I know it's the wrong way around, but the tray itself moves out really nice. It's got a nice lubricated motion, and you've got the fans 1, 2, and 3, depending on how much stinky mess you're making in your kitchen. You can change these fans grills. They recommend once a year, but obviously it depends on how much you're cooking and how much frying you're doing, but once a year is good. And the way you do that is you just pull it out, take it out, and there you go. So here you've got your 2 extractor fans, which have filters inside them. And then you've got your grill as well, which kind of makes your eyes go funny. Look. Ooh. All right, so I think as in terms of the unboxing, I think we pretty much had a look at what's inside the box. It's now time to hand over to the big guns.
Alright, so I've just been digging through the manual. Not really that much information, but there's some important steps to set up in front recirculating mode. So the first thing I'm going to do is swap out the 8cm front plate with the 4cm one. The good thing about this model is it does come in both varieties. Now I gotta say, range hoods are a bit of a mystery. The manual doesn't actually tell you how to do any of this, and when we had professional installers trying to install our Smeg, they had no idea what they were doing either. So it's all a bit of a free-for-all. You install it as you like. There you go. Just trying to see which angle does it go. It looks like it's the same, it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way you put it. So for this portion, I need an assistant.
Hi.
Welcome, lovely camera lady.
Hello.
Just making the holes bigger. Hallelujah, my friends. We've now upgraded the 8cm cover plate to a 4cm cover plate, so now it's time to reattach everything. If you spin it left, it opens, and if you spin it right, it closes. So when you choose front recirculating mode, the charcoal filter must be installed. You must also ensure that you remove the front cover as shown below.
Check out my grills, bro. Check out my grills. Check out my grills.
And now push them to the right so they're locked into position. And it's hard to see, but this one means that the air would go out through the roof, and this one means that it will recirculate. So you need to push those levers down and down. And now what you should do is test it out to make sure that the air is coming out of the right vent. And that's what we're going to do right now. Down. So, feel up here, there should be barely any air. Up here is where the big fella's coming through. Alright, now that we know it's fully working and it's ready to rock, I'm just going to plug in the plug in our special cabinet socket. So we got a cabinet socket up there. And we also have a hole in our cabinetry. We're trying to get that perfect fit, so we're double, triple, quadruple checking our coordinates.
Yes.
So right now I'm going to lift this up, and my assistant, who is looking fine, gotta say, she's going to be using a pencil just to draw the marking points on
And a ruler.
Yeah, on where this range hood is going to fit. So first we'll close the door. Make sure it's level on both sides. And when we're happy with that, she's going to draw that line. Alright, so we got these two in. Now we're balancing it on a pile of foam. And we're just going to be trying to screw some screws through those holes so we get some support through the wall.
I found some monster screws we can use. They've got nice sharp edges. I'm going to try those now.
We got 3 screws coming from the top. Can't use the 4th one because there's a hole drilled into my wall where the previous range hood was installed. So I've got 3 screws coming from the top and it seems pretty sturdy, and I've also secured it with 2 screws going into the wall.
Spotless. Wow, just look at that range hood. So we opted for the Omega 60cm telescopic range hood, and I just want to show you a few things. Firstly, it's beautifully flush, and you can just pull it out like so. And you get an automatic light underneath it, which really brightens up the kitchen workspace area, especially your stove area as well. And what comes with it also is really nice. It's a few options for your fanning. So if you're going to cook something particularly heavy or smelly, you can just switch on the fan, like so. That's number 1, which is already quite a lot. Number 2. And number 3. So as you can see, the fans are really, really powerful actually, and they take up all of the air. Nothing blows out into your face. So when you are cooking, you don't feel anything go into your face, which is really useful. So on the whole, the pros of it, well, it's unbranded, which goes really well with the rest of my collection. I was unable to get the Smeg range hood because it was too large for the area that I have, and they don't have any smaller ones. Secondly, it's really cheap. It's about, I don't know, 1/3 of the price of the Smeg range hood, which is super cheap. So if it does break, you just chuck it away and get another one and not feel worried about it. And thirdly, it worked really nicely. The cons, however, firstly, it does smudge. But I guess all range hoods will smudge if you touch them with greasy hands. So you just got to keep it clean all the time. And secondly, what I'd say is that the instruction manuals that it came with was abysmal. It was really hard to follow. When you look on Google, when you look on YouTube, it's like zzz, 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 done. And it's like, seriously, where is the realness in that? All the videos are all fake, basically. So installation is a nightmare. But if you're going to do it, hopefully you'll find this video useful. And if not, just get someone to do it for you. So yeah, I am pleased with this. I think the benefits outweigh the disadvantages, and I cannot wait to get cooking. So see you later. It's time to get cooking. With my pretend saucepan, of course. When I'm cooking eggs. I just want to say something. This kitchen, like just off the camera, this kitchen started off looking like it was from the 50s. It was dark, it was small, it was horrible, it was grimy, it was dirty. It had a really disgusting oven and cooktop, which was just like filled with scum and dirt. And no matter how hard I cleaned it, no matter how many detergents we used, it just wouldn't clean. And this just never looked nice. But it's taken us 8 days to get our kitchen turned around. We've done it on a budget. We've renovated the whole of our kitchen, ranging from the cabinetry through to the oven, through to installing some new electrics for the induction cooktop, and also installing a brand new unbranded range hood. Now, we have tried to keep you guys updated with videos for it, just to show you our progress, show you how things we've encountered that we found difficult. And I really hope that you'll find it useful and it doesn't deter you from doing your own DIY project, because quite frankly, we're a bunch of novices. We've never done anything like this on the scale before. And if we can do it on a budget, so can you. Just want to say, we did this entire kitchen for under 3K. So some guys were asking us for 30K, some guys were asking us for 50K, but we did it for under 3,000. And just a little asterisk there as well, 3,000 includes the appliances as well. So if you're taking, bear in mind that we did buy Smeg, so if you weren't buying Smeg, you'd probably do this under £1,000. So just saying that you can completely renovate your own kitchen, make it look brighter, make it look modern. Before, after.
Nasty.
Oh, wow. Voila! Put the paint on and it just swallows it up and it's gone. I've never actually had a brand new oven before, so this is like, look how sexy that is. Kid thanks.
Wow.
Before, after.